Let's talk about the bridge between PPC and SEO. As PPC becomes more and more driven by machine learning and less by granular decision making in the ad platform, we are relying on other information-rich areas to guide targeting and outcomes. So let's think about PMAX as an example really quickly. We choose search themes and define pages that are acceptable as landing pages. How does Google assign which pages are suited to which searches? Website data like page titles, page descriptions, H1s, H2s, and structured data. None of this, well, I guess the H's are visible on this stuff, but none of this stuff is really visible particularly to the end user. It is information that's built into the page when the page is being built on whatever platform, Shopify, WordPress, whatever. There are SEO tools that specifically extract and analyze website data so that it's easier to work at the scale of a site instead of pulling all this information when you're auditing it or investigating it or even sometimes modifying it. Instead of working within Shopify or WordPress or page speed insights. Regardless of how you're getting the data, I think there are three critical areas for investigation. Page speed. Let's take a look at this. So I'm going to use Page Speed Insights. It's a free thing that you can find with Google. While this runs, I'm going to say there are other ways to get this information. This one's just free. So, if I were you, I would take your top performing landing pages from Google or Google Analytics or whatever else and run this through this. This is still diagnosing. If you're not green, you have work to do. Plain and simple. This is objective data, and the benefit, going back to what I was saying before in terms of incremental investment or incremental return on your investments of time, money, budget, whatever resource, this is huge. If you are in a yellow or, God help you, a red area of this, the loss in your traffic campaigns due to bounce rate because people are impatient or think your website's broken or whatever, the improvement that you can make in terms of your marketing efficiency ratio by improving your page speed is so huge. We'll just stop there basically. But this is the breakdown of that information. You can see we're really struggling here on FCP and LCP. I am not going to go into this in great depth in terms of this workshop. I will actually do another workshop just on sort of like SEO for PPC. Stay tuned, coming up quickly here, but know that this is critically important. It needs to be fast. So let's go on to the next section, meta title, meta description. As I mentioned, there are tools that can be used to extract this information. I'm going to give you a real Cole's notes on the idea that this is basically what displays on a SERP, search engine result page, but it's also what Google looks for in terms of trying to identify page purpose, page content, and matching that with search intent. So obviously critically important. The other way to think about this, if you're from the e-commerce world, this is a lot like a product feed, basically, where you're feeding this information in a structured sense, and Google's using that to match search results with the information that you're giving them. Instead of it being a product feed, this is your meta title and meta description, but that information is read and searched for keywords, user behaviors, interactions on the site. It looks for meaning and it matches that meaning with searches. And this is a really critical way that Google stores and accesses meaning. Second to that is schema. In my experience, it turns out that a lot of people haven't heard of what schema is. Schema.org is, I don't even know. It's an organization, I guess, basically. But what schema does is it provides explicit structure in what's usually a really messy web.